Hi everybody, it's Scott from Everything Board Games. This is kind of my Origins wrap-up video. Show you my final thoughts, tell you what I thought about it. It was the first time taking the whole family, so it was a different experience than last year when it was just me and my fiance and her oldest son. But what we're going to do is I'm going to also show you the games that I picked up there. There will be some reviews, maybe some possible playthroughs. Not all of them are new. I was involved in the Board Game Geek flea market, and I picked up quite a bit from there. Some really great deals. I thank all the users that sold to me for the great prices that they did. Just looking to increase my game collection, and that way I'll be able to bring you guys more content. Even if it's slightly older, we might do playthroughs. Might be entertaining to watch. It's something that the family and I enjoy doing, and you may enjoy watching. I don't know. Let's get started. One of the first things I picked up at Origins, well, it wasn't the first thing I picked up, but one of the first things I wanted to get. I demoed this like the first day, and it is a fantastic game. I just got done with my first event on Wednesday, and came over to the Cool Mini or Not area, and the rest of the family was demoing this game. So I sat down, they re-demoed for us, and I loved it. It was great. It was there's a lot of strategy, a lot of thinking, a lot of different variants of set collection. It was a lot of fun, and I am talking about, of course, got it the right way up, Ethnos from Cool Mini or Not. And this is an interesting game. It's 2 to 6 players, set collection, area control, lots of different aspects to this game. A lot of fun. If you like that type of thing, you should definitely check this out. The next thing I got isn't new, but it's new to me. When we attended the Origins Awards on Saturday night, at the end of it, everybody was able to pick out a free game. They had a ton of them available, and I was able to pick up this Terra. I've heard some stuff about it. I don't know too much about it. I just know it's like a party type guessing trivia sort of thing, and I'm looking forward to getting this to the table, letting the family see exactly how it plays. Next was one that I was very happy to get. This was my #1 anticipated game over last year, for this year at Origins, and it is an amazing artwork game. It's developed by a very talented creator, Ryan Lockett, and of course I am talking about Near and Far from Red Raven Games. I was able to get a copy of the Kickstarter version with the metal coins. It was only $10 more than the regular one, so why not, right? Very much looking forward to... we'll take a look at this one. We'll take a look at components on this one. I'll open it up. I'll show you a little bit about it. There's been several other reviews out on the internet, but I'll give you my opinion. Maybe my opinion is better, worse, who knows, but at least it'll be something that I can put out there. Saturday night we went to the Origins Awards, as I put, and there was a game that took not only its category, but it also took Game of the Year, and it was a game that I did not yet have, and so I wandered over to the Cool Mini or not Cool Mini or Not, the Cool Stuff Inc. booth on Sunday afternoon, and I was able to get me a copy. Looking forward to playing this. I know it's a little bit older, but it's new to me, and that is Scythe. Won Game of the Year, won Best Board Game. From what I understand, it wasn't even close. This is one I've been looking forward to trying out for a long time, so we may even do some playthroughs with the family. Game night is every Saturday, Friday nights here at the house, and we'll maybe put a playthrough of that up. I just gotta get everything set and learn how to play the game completely, so we'll get that set for you. Next is not a new game at all, but it is, in fact, it's probably, God, I'm not sure, 18 to 20 years old, maybe even older than that. One of the games that started the explosion of board gaming into the mainstream. I had never played this game until this weekend. I know, it's going to make me seem like I'm not a gamer, but you got to remember I've only been doing this for about a year and a half. So, more like a year and a half. So, the game I am talking about is, of course, Catan. It's one of the staples. I've heard it said that it's one of the 4 pillars of gaming, and we got to actually get it to the table for the first time last night, and me and the fiance and my 2 children played. I did win, but they really enjoyed the game. So that is Catan. Now, as far as the first thing I was able to get when I got to Origins, on Thursday morning, as soon as the hall opened, I went right for their booth for the most part, and they had a great deal going on. They have a trio of games that was released this year, and it's something that interests me very much. Trying to get the family into it, they got to learn to think a little bit differently, but I was able to pick up the trio of games from Cosmos, and that is the Exit games. We have the Abandoned Cabin, the Pharaoh's Tomb, and the Secret Lab. I'm looking forward to trying these out. I'll give you my impressions on them once I do. They're very cool escape room games. I've got a few escape room games. We've tried some of the demos for Unlock. I have all 3 of those, and when we get a chance, maybe I'll get my friend over, Bill, and him and I can. He really likes the puzzly type of games. He enjoyed what we played of Time Stories, and this is very puzzly too. So that is the Exit games. The next couple games I got, the kids got. Well, they're actually the kids, but they got it at the Origins Awards. I'm not sure too much about this, but Rumpelstiltskin from AEG. Brand new. I'm not sure how old this game is. I have to look at my glasses to tell. 2015, so only a couple years old. We'll be trying that out sometime this weekend. The next thing I got was an expansion for the Red Dragon Inn, which I do not have the game, so that means I'm going to have to pick up the game. But the expansion is Halden the Unhinged, I believe, and it's an Allies expansion. I believe it brings more people to help you out in the game, Red Dragon Inn. So looking forward to that. Next game that I picked up, this is one of my favorite games. I can't get it to the table as much as I'd like to, but whenever a new expansion comes out, I pick it up because it is one of my favorite games. And I'm talking, of course, about Legendary X-Men, which is part of the Marvel Legendary Marvel series, and I have everyone except for the Fantastic Four. And from what we were told this weekend, Fantastic Four license has been reacquired by Upper Deck, and they will be reprinting those expansions for those of you who've wanted them and maybe didn't want to pay the exorbitant $225 to $250 to even higher price to get yours. It's be coming back out, and it'll be regular price. So second printing. Still regular price, and this one is X-Men. This is X-Men that weren't included in the first expansions for Marvel Legendary. I did sleeve them, and I did look through them, but I don't know exactly all the characters. I know we got Havoc, and there's 15 new heroes, 7 new villain groups, 5 new henchmen, 8 new schemes, 6 new double-sided masterminds. I'm not sure exactly what that means. Probably you can make it harder or easier. We got Dazzler, Psylocke, Onslaught as a mastermind. There's a lot of things that you'll recognize from the X-Men comics, and I'm gonna try and get this to the table. My son doesn't like Legendary Marvel for some reason, so it doesn't happen a lot, but sometimes I can bribe him into doing it, so we'll try and get that to the table. Now is my second most anticipated game coming into Origins. I saw this about a month or 2 before Origins, and it looked great. The family is a fan of dungeon crawls. So I am going to get this one to the table. I've punched it out and it looks great. The minis look great. I got a door upgrade and a dice upgrade for it. So we will try and get this to the table. Probably a playthrough, probably a component overview, but that is Swords and Sorcery. This was released at Origins, and I was able to get my hand on a copy, and looking very much forward to getting this to the table. Swords and Sorcery. Alright, now we're going to go into the games that I got for cheap and for trade in the BGG flea market that they had. Oh wait, I do have one more. I'm looking over here. And this was free with the purchase of Legendary X-Men. It's a versus system game, and it's the Alien Battles. So I'll have to check this out. I got to demo versus system when I was at Origins. In fact, that was my very first event. And it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I have started playing Magic in the last few weeks. So this is a little bit simplistic, but still very good game overall. Alright, and the next one that I got. This is a game that's gotten a lot of buzz in the last year. Well, since it's come out. I don't know if it's been out for a year or not. But I was able to pick this up for a cheaper price in the flea market, and I jumped on that. Every game I got in the BGG flea market was excellent quality, excellent condition. There was no bad deals. Everybody was very up and up. I appreciate it. And the first one I got from that is Vast Crystal Caverns. Like I said, it was in great shape. The box is amazing. The guy I bought it from was very nice, and this is one that I think the children and I will really enjoy, and I'm looking forward to getting this out there so everybody can see us play it, if that's indeed what you want to do. I'm getting quite the stack over here to the side. I don't want anything to fall and have to put stuff on the floor. The next game I got might be a little bit of a disappointment. It was very cheap, like in the $5 to $8 range, and normally it was a $20 to $25 game, so I love the license that it has, so I picked it up, and that is Star Trek, the deck building game. Since then, I've watched a few reviews and a few videos on it. It doesn't seem to be getting much love, but I will put my 2 cents in and get that to the table and show you exactly what I think. Hopefully, my standards are a little lower. I don't know, but hopefully that'll be a little bit better for you. So we'll get this to the table at some point. Another game that I'm still trying to fill out my game collection from before I was a gamer. Great games that I might not have known about, because, you know, as far as gaming goes, nobody really knows a lot of the games in the mainstream. I work with a lot of people, and they know I game based on my Facebook page and based on my board game page, Everything Board Games. Go there, like and subscribe. And I tell them what I'm playing, and they have no idea. They absolutely have no idea. The board game industry and exclusively tabletop games have been growing leaps and bounds in the last few years, from what I understand. I myself love miniatures games and have acquired a lot of those. But this one is one of the old classics, and I'm sure you can see it out of frame. There was a few pieces missing, but I got it for really cheap. This is Puerto Rico by Andreas Seyfarth, and this is one of the games that everybody is always talking about, so I have to try it out. It's by Rio Grande Games, Puerto Rico. Next was a little bit of an oversight on me. I purchased the game on the ad without really paying too much attention to what it said. I just knew that it was a game that I know that we wanted, and I purchased it and then realized that after I purchased it, it was the NSFW version, Exploding Kittens. Was going to play this with the kids as the original one because my daughter really wanted to play it, but I don't think this will be played for them or with them. I might have to find a way to sell this off or give it away on the channel, something like that. We'll see. And that's Exploding Kittens. Oh man, there's such a stack of games here. Let me come over here and pull some more forward. One game that me and the boys really, really liked in the past was Xenoshift Onslaught. Very hard deck building co-op game where you're Marines fighting on a planet where the alien life is not so friendly. We loved Onslaught. I finally did beat it with my friend Bill. We were able to beat it once only out of many, many plays. And so when the opportunity came on the flea market to pick up Xenoshift Dreadmire, I jumped on it. It was the Kickstarter edition with the mat, all the cards, all the extra cards, a few expansions, and I did end up picking that up. Oh, I got the mat here with me. Alright, but this is Xenoshift Dreadmire. We've played it a couple of times since I've gotten it home, and we have gotten our butts kicked. So, going to take a lot of practice, or some luck, to get through this one, but there are two different, with the expansions I got, there are two different races that you can fight against. There's the Brood and the Cinderkin, I believe. Like a flaming race, and both of them are separate decks. They're both just as big, and it makes the replayability of this game great. I guess all the pieces are interchangeable. Like, you could mix up Wave 1 creatures from any of the three sets of creatures, and they could fight against you. Might make it harder, might make it easier. I don't know. We'll give it a try. And that's Xenoshift Dreadmire. Set things aside. Running out of room. I need new shelves. The next game was one of the big releases last year at Origins, and I was able to get my hands on a copy on the flea market. This is a good family game from what I understand. A little bit lighter. It's a 2 to 4 player game. Imhotep from Cosmos. Cosmos seems to have a big release every year at Origins, and I do enjoy going to Origins. This is my second year. I liked it even more. I went with the channel this time and was able to get some film. I posted that on the YouTube channel. By the way, just a reminder, if you like the content that I'm putting out and that I plan to put out, please subscribe. We need some subscribes. We need some likes. We need to get our name out there. That way, maybe board game companies will, start submitting review copies, and then I can get you guys more reviews quicker. Basically, all the stuff that I review or get is now based on what I can buy or what I can afford. So, this is Imhotep by Cosmos, and we'll be playing that very soon. And the next one is a game that my son got in the Origins Awards. I've heard a lot about this game, didn't know too much about it. He's looking forward to playing it. We're going to give it a try. And I think it's a couple years old, but this is Runebound by Fantasy Flight. I don't know exactly what year this came out. 2015, just a couple years ago. This is the highest ranked game of what they did give out. And I have a large family, so we got a few games from that. But Runebound has some miniatures. It has a great looking board. And hopefully we'll be able to get this one on the table. Maybe. We'll see. The next one was one I had gone there looking for. I was going to actually purchase if they had it at Cool Mini or not, which they did. But I did find it for cheaper on the BGG flea market. And so I was able to pick it up. And that would be Masmorra Dungeons of Arcadia. I first learned how to play this game, or saw how to play this game on Rodney Smith's channel, Watch It Played. Great channel. Go over there and check it out if you haven't. I wanted to meet Rodney this past week, and I knew he was going to be there, and I didn't see him when I was there, only to be going through my YouTube videos as I was, editing them and stuff, and realizing that I passed right by him and didn't even know it. I was so focused on the camera screen and what was being filmed that I walked right by him, went around him, didn't get to say hi, so maybe next year. But he runs a great channel. Go on over there and check it out. And that was Masmorra, and it's from Cool Mini or Not, which is a great company. Unfortunately, I spent way too much money with them. This is a 1 to 5 player game. I've got Cool Mini or Not games coming. I currently have the Green Horde backed on Kickstarter. I have Rising Sun backed on Kickstarter. Massive Darkness should be here within the next 2 to 3 weeks, and definitely unboxing that. Definitely will get you a review of that. I've heard a lot of good things based on previous things like the CMON convention, but we will check that out. And speaking of CMON, another game, I was able to get this for cheaper than release price through the flea market. It is still new and shrink, and that is Arcadia Quest Inferno. Arcadia Quest is a game I've enjoyed painting. It is a game that I've enjoyed playing with my family. We actually need to get it back to the table. It doesn't get to the table as much because there's new stuff always, trying to get caught up on what new stuff I have that we have not played yet. But this is excellent expansion for Arcadia Quest. I don't know if it's standalone, but I do know for sure that it's 2 to 4 players, 60 minutes, no master required, no game master required. So this is a don't know if it's standalone. I'm not sure. It is standalone. There it is on the back. It is a standalone game. You don't need the original to play it, but now I have this, as well as the first couple Arcadia Quests. I know they have some expansions that I would love to paint, like the Dragon expansions, but alas, I was not able to get those this Origins. You're going to be seeing another game. I've heard a little bit about this. It was interesting. I got it for really cheap. And this one is by Ankama Games and Japanime Games. And Ankama, that's what I'm talking about. Crossmaster Arena. The minis in here are already painted. Well, at least it's less that I have to do, I guess. But yeah, love the chibi artwork and the chibi miniatures. The painting job that they did on it was good. But I will be trying this out soon with the kitties. Next game is one I've heard about on the Dice Tower, and I believe it's one of Sam's favorite games. And it's a game that I wanted to try. We have a couple of games where there's a betrayer. I think this game does have a betrayer. It's a 3 to 6 player game, and it is Battlestar Galactica. And this is a game by Corey Kaniska. I hope I'm not butchering your name, sir. Fantasy Flight puts it out, and I believe it's board and cards and everything that I love about games, except miniatures. I don't think there's any miniatures. It's all right. Don't need them. We do have some plastic ships. There are plastic miniatures. I may have to paint those. I have an addiction where it comes to painting. I will at some point be putting some painting videos up. I just finished this morning. I finished the Red Martian from All Quiet on the Martian Front. I don't play, but it looked really cool. I wanted to paint it, so I picked it up. And I put pictures of that on Facebook, so go there and check it out. And that was Battlestar Galactica, the board game. I have to reach over here and bring more stuff over. And I have. Bring that over. We'll show all those together. Another game that I've heard about. This game by Vlada Shavatel. And this is by CBG Czech Board Games. And this is Through the Ages. Got this for a mere $10. Can't beat that. Again, the people who were selling on the flea market, the prices were very reasonable, and this guy, I guess a buyer dropped out on him, and he messaged me and said, "Hey, if you like this, I saw that you wanted one of these. If you like this, I still have it." And I said, "Sure." So I met him, and I paid for the game. It's a little bit older, but something I'd like to try out. And the next game I got, another old one, but another one I've heard a lot about, another Rio Grande game. Just getting into their games. And that is Power Grid. Heard a lot of good things about this game. I think this was printed, let's see if I can read upside down. It seems like the boxes are always upside down. I know this is older. Not quite as old as Catan, maybe, but... 2004 reprinted in 2012, so this is the 2012 reprint. But this is supposed to be a really great game, and I am going to give it a try. What else new did we get? This was my daughter's game that she picked up at the Origins Awards, and that is The Road to Enlightenment. Not sure exactly how good it is. We'll have to check that out. This is probably not one you'll see reviewed, or because it's older, 2012. In fact, 2 to 7 players, 10 and up. You're a great monarch from the 17th, early 18th century, and dream of your homeland becoming the most prestigious country in Europe within your grasp. Euro game. It was free, so we'll give it a try. It got about mid-range in votes on Board Game Geek, maybe 5.5. We'll have to see. Alright, the next game is a game I had been eyeing at my friendly local game store, In the Zone, Ashtabula, Ohio. Come check them out. And the price tag on it was a little bit steep for me, but I was able to knock about $60 off of that price tag when I got it on the flea market. So hopefully this is a good game. It is by WizKids and Mike Elliott of Dice Masters fame, and Ethan Pasternak, and that is Star Trek Fleet Captains. I am a fan of the Star Trek universe as well as Star Wars, but this game has some nice miniature ships in it. I opened it up to take a look. As usual, everything was in great shape. This has some nice miniature ships in it. Like to try it out and get it to the table and see what it's like. I don't know if this is anything like the Star Trek game where you're flying the ships, but it looks like there's a board. Maybe a board that's put together. I don't know. We'll see. Ages 14 and up, 90 to 120 minutes, 2 or 4 players, so apparently it's a team game. And that is Star Trek Fleet Captains. Alright, the next 3 that I got were, 2 of them were very cheap, and the third one was a trade that I made with a lot of expansions. Me and the woman love this TV series, so all in all, for a very cheap price and some trades, I was able to pick up Game of Thrones card game, 2 core sets, a 3rd core set, and a bunch of expansions, so there'll be a lot of content for trying this out. I thought maybe it was a little bit like Lord of the Rings card game, deck building game, but this is not. This is more along the lines of a dueling game, like Magic or any of the other dueling games that are out there. Any of the games by White Wizard. But this is Game of Thrones, the card game. And we're going to start setting stuff off to the side over here because I don't have any room over here. I have to pull these up before I can even get out of where I'm at. The next game I got is, surprise, another Cool Mini or Not game. Got it on the flea market for cheap, I want to say $15, and they were selling this at the Cool Mini or Not booth for full price, so got a deal. It looks brand new, only looks to have been played a few times, and that is Raise Your Goblets. This is a game of toasts, poisoning, and flawless etiquette for 2 to 12 mischievous players. I've heard a little bit about the game. It looked intriguing to me. Something about having cups in front of everyone, and poison is put into the cups, and they switch around, and you have to try and keep track, because if you're the one that, when the time comes, drinks, and you have poison, you're out of the game. So we like a lot of social games here, especially on game night. We've played a lot of Resistance, a lot of Werewolf, Murder and Deception in Hong Kong, a lot of stuff, so I'm going to be trying this out as soon as I can. And the last but not least game that I picked up at Origins is a game by Space Cowboys, 2 to 4 players. 14 and up, and it's a game that came out a couple of years ago, but I heard a lot of good stuff about it, and it was one I wanted to try. So when I saw it on the flea market, I was sure to say, hey, I'll take that. And that game is Elysium. I think it has to do with mythology and Greek gods, and sounds and looks a little fun. It's a card game with looks like a track on it. Sounds fun. I'm gonna give it a try, and I will let you know. I plan on doing some playthroughs with the kids, because I think I think it'd be fun for you to see how our family games. Maybe you like it, maybe you won't, maybe it'll get you into gaming. That's my entire purpose here, is to let you know what's out there, let you know what's going on, and possibly get you into gaming. If if you stumble upon my videos and say, hey, you know what, that looks pretty cool, I'd like to try that. Sure, go out and pick yourself up something. Gaming is a fantastic hobby. I don't know if I told this before, but my family was one that before I started gaming, the kids would come over to visit, because I'm divorced, so they live with their mother, and my fiance's kids live here, and they would come over and they would disappear into the bedroom and they'd be playing video games all weekend long. We wouldn't even see them. No point in that. So I thought of a plan to get into board gaming, get the kids down to the table, get some social interaction, get some family fun going, and that has worked out fantastic. Everybody looks forward to it now. I have friends that slide in every once in a while, because we do the gaming every Saturday night. Sometimes we do Fridays. I have a weekly D&D game I go to on Thursdays before my weekend off at work. Gaming's become a big part of our life. It's definitely become a big part of the house. Just ask my fiance. She's looking to choke me for the amount of games that we have in this house. But she enjoys playing too. Maybe not as much as me, not as much as the kids, but she likes it. She's learning. She played a lot of demos at Origins this year. Everybody made her feel welcome. She even played a slightly heavier game, Freedom the Underground Railroad, a game that I would have liked to try out, but just didn't have time. There was just so much to do. I could have been there another 2 weeks and still probably not done everything there was to do at Origins. It's a great con. I've never been to another board game con. Gen Con, I've heard, is so crowded that you feel like you're in a, packed together, shoulder to shoulder, whenever you go to see anything. If that's the case, I may do Gen Con as like a visit, or if the channel gets going and that's something people want to see, I might go to it. But basically, I'd like to keep going to Origins. It's the second biggest in the country, from what I understand, and it's competing with UKGE across the pond, and maybe someday we'll get to try that one out, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, unless somebody wants to send me to England. Anyway, we really enjoyed Origins. The family did. The boys have their games that they enjoy, Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh, and they did a lot of that. Played in a lot of demos. Everybody was great. That's one thing I've noticed about the board game community. Everybody is so nice. They're willing to talk to you. They're willing to stop and chat, even if they're strangers. The other providers or contributors on different channels, very nice. I got to meet Forrest from Bauer's Game Corner. He was very, very nice guy. I got to meet, of course, all the Dice Tower individuals. I got to meet somebody who helped get me into the gaming hobby from, when I was first checking it out. Mr. Rob Oren from his channel. He is a great guy, very gracious. I got to meet a contributor from Germany that's on, I want to say, Board Game Breakfast on the Dice Tower, but I got to meet him. He gave me a card. Cyril Spretspieler, I think is how he pronounced his name. If you see this, sir, hopefully I didn't butcher your name. Very nice guy. It was great to meet. It's great to meet all these people that you see on YouTube, and the people that got you into gaming, and find out that they're just as nice in person as they are on the television, on YouTube. So we had a great Origins this year. I'm hoping that I can do it again next year. Not sure who will be going. We'll have to see who's, my other son, or my birth son, I guess you could say, couldn't make it this year because he had to start a job. So I'm hoping maybe he can try and come next year. But we had a great time. It was a good family time. We had a lot of fun. The convention center was great. Everything was decked out. North Market, the food there was fantastic. I get to go there once a year, and it's worth it every time. I got to have a donut, which I shouldn't be having because I'm diabetic, but it was delicious. it was some sort of cappuccino, coffee, donut. It was great. If you get a chance to come down to the convention any year, or even just Columbus, because they're open all year round, or just down to Columbus, try the North Market out. It's great. Family and I got to eat at Buca di Beppo, which is just a few blocks from the convention center. Great family-style Italian restaurant. Delicious. The meatballs were that big. So now it's back to my diet because I don't want my diabetes to get out of control. But such is life. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe and like down below. Need to get more subscribers. I'd like to be able to bring more content, and it's tough with a full-time job, but I do what I can. This week being on vacation, I was able to get a lot out. Try to at least get a couple videos out every week. We'll see. Trying to get maybe some of my stuff into some contributing to other shows on other channels. I'll have to see how that goes. Be looking forward to, I'm starting a new segment called No Meeples Required. Basically what that'll be a miniatures game segment where, it's no wooden bits usually, and you got miniatures instead. Plenty of those games to look at. We'll take a look at each one of them as we go. I'll probably put up some painting videos. I'm not the greatest. I did submit something into the contest this year. I did not place. Mostly because I think they were looking at the bases, and on that game I didn't really know if I wanted to do the bases on the miniatures for the others. And if I did, I might put them on something else, something more matching the game world. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you did, please like, subscribe in the doobly-doo down below. And until next time, keep gaming.